It's the new Red Green Show! And now, here's the man who's voted the head of Possum Lodge, because all the other body parts he's spoken for, your hero, my Uncle Red Green!
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Got some bad news, unfortunately. A bit of a disaster this week up at the lodge. Buster Hatfield's house was burned down by his budgie.
Oh, no. How did that happen? Playing with matches, right?
No. You know, Buster lets the little guy out from the cage, lets him fly around, and he eats little bits of potato chips from between the couch cushions, you know. And I guess he got poking around where he shouldn't have, and before you knew it, he had plugged himself into an electrical outlet.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, I went up just like a flare, Harold. Didn't even blow a fuse on that one, Harold, and the house burned right to the ground.
Well, see, that's hardly an accident, Uncle Red. I mean, you guys, you don't have any smoke detectors, you don't have any fire alarms, no fire safety, your fire extinguishers are never charged off or nothing. It's a wonder there's not more fires around here.
Didn't even blow a fuse, Harold. That was a dead short.
Reckless, irresponsible negligence, Uncle Red. Now Buster has no home. What did we learn from our most recent disaster?
Well, we learned that even an adult, fully grown budgie draws less than 15 amps. What you're looking at here is a bunch of segments from this particular show. The main message being, for gosh sakes, don't even think about changing the channel. I'll tell you something, if you're gonna try and make sense out of this program, you gotta give it your undivided attention. Now, around here, people get down, but they don't stay down. We're gonna turn Buster's house fire into an opportunity.
You going into the charcoal business?
No, we're not, Harold. We're gonna do what the pioneers did.
You're moving to California? Oh, maybe I can go. Yeah, you know, maybe I can meet Spielberg or something. You know, I got this film idea, and I got this treatment.
Well, the treatment's not working, Harold. Now think back to the pioneers, okay? What did they do when the guy next door's house burnt down?
Move away?
No.
Keep their own houses wet?
Harold, they'd all pitch in and build the guy a new house.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, like a barn raising.
A barn raising, yeah, except this is Buster's house. No, you know, I think the barn raising is a good analogy. Yeah.
You know who still does that? It's like the Amish and the Mennonites.
Yes, I believe they do, Harold.
Yeah, but instead of having a bunch of deeply devoted religious craftsmen, it's going to be a gang of pot-bellied drunks.
I figured it'd go a lot faster. Well, later on in Adventures with Bill, we're going to be doing some high wire walking there, but actually, I had heard, one of the fellows told me that Bill was stuck up at the top of a flagpole, and they asked me to go and get him, but what had happened was he was trying to get the flag down. Of course, this is, you know, communication is that's when the well, he just gets lost. And, anyway, Bill had apparently shinnied. You don't very often see an adult shinny, and you know what? You're still not. But, of course, I didn't get there till he was all the way up the top, and he's stuck up there. That's the way I heard it. He was stuck, and it's okay, Bill, I'll get you down. It's all right, just relax. I think if I get the pool kind of vibrating, he's got to slide right down there. Relax, Bill, you're down a minute. Just hang on. Oh, you're fine. No. Oh, boy, you know, sometimes the fear is so strong in them, they hang on, the fingers tighten up, their fingernails dig right into the pole, but luckily I had the little chainsaw unit there, and there you go. Oh, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, Bill? No. Don't thank me. That's fine. Oh, sometimes I get to thinking about all the mistakes I've made, about all the people I've hurt, and all the bills I haven't paid. Sometimes I get to thinking I should change and get on the ball. But then I turn on the old TV and I don't get to thinking at all.
Okay, this is the big one. For a free chiropractic adjustment at Arnie's Auto Body Shop, Uncle Red, you have 30 seconds to get Mr. Dalton Humphreys of the Humphreys Everything Store to say this word. Whoa. Go!
Okay, Dalton. Okay, these are like dogs, only bigger.
My wife's side of the family.
No. These are animals, Dalton. Okay, they travel in packs.
Yeah, that's my wife's side of the family.
Come on. These are what? These are like a fox. Okay, only bigger teeth.
It's my wife's side of the family.
Eh? Now, why do you keep saying that?
Just feels good, that's all, Red.
No.
Feels good.
No, stop it. These are wild animals. They howl at the moon. They eat rats. They travel in groups, and they hunt out the weak and the sick.
I'm gonna have to go with my original answer on that.
These animals hardly ever hurt humans.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give me another clue on that one, Red.
Describe your wife's side of the family eating.
Wolves.
This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to do one of the most common and yet one of the most difficult handyman projects. We're going to hang a door. Now here we have a portable washroom facility whose door has been ripped off during some type of a gastronomical emergency. And over here, we have a door. So all we got to do is get these two together. First thing you got to do is make sure that the door is the same size as the hole it's going to go in. No, see, a little too tall. So we'll just mark her and no lead in my pencil. We've all been there, haven't we? I'll tell you, car keys works just as well. Mark her up, and then cut off the excess. Got our door cut now. All we got to do is mark where the hinges go, stick them on. Oh, all right. Now you see what the problem we've got here. We've cut down far enough into the door that we're into the hollow section, and that's no good because we'll get the rain and shingles and hornet's nest. Anything falls off the roof. But you know what? There's a real simple solution. Flip her over. All right. Just mark where the hinges go and stick them on there. All right, now I got the hinge things marked here, and I got to cut these out so the hinges will fit. Now, ordinarily, I would use a chisel for that, but I don't have a chisel. I mean, I did have a chisel, but I had it for more than a week, so it's more of a screwdriver at this point. That's what happens when you use them as a hammer. So what I'm going to do is just actually use the hinge itself, and that way I know I'll have a perfect fit. Now, you might want to have a couple extra hinges when you're doing this, just in case. There we go, we're all set. Just attach our hinges to our door jamb. Just like this, Murray. Okay, see what you've done here? You've mounted the hinges on the wrong side. They're going the wrong way, and now the door is going to open in. That's not going to work for a shed this small. Plus, real dangerous in the fire. And around the lodge, we have plenty of those. But you know what? It's dead easy to fix. But not that easy. All right, now I find it a lot easier to put the screws in with a hammer than it is, getting all those blisters on your hand from a screwdriver. Oh no, that's a chisel. All right, so we just take her over now and mount her on the side there and just horse her in. And she's just that easy. And a beautiful job. All right, now you can make a few. There's always adjustments with a door. You can cut that off and... No, that's not going to work. I got an idea. Where there's a van, there's a way. Beautiful job. So remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy. Find me in the shed. Stay tuned and relax. Whatever this is, we got a lot more of it.
I want to talk to you old guys about telling stories that nobody wants to hear. You know, in Hollywood, they actually have a system for telling stories. Say, for instance, you have a movie idea. I got lost. Okay, but, anyway. A professional begins with a concise premise of 1 or 2 sentences. Something like, a meteorologist and his ex-wife chase tornadoes across the Midwest and a bunch of special effects happen. Now, if people like that, and only if they like that, he can go on and tell the treatment. And that's like just a little bit longer version, more details. And if they like that, then he can go into the full-blown screenplay, and that's the entire, 2 hours. So, you see how they do that? You see, they tell a little bit of the story to see if people are interested. You old guys, you might want to try that. Next time you go to a mall, you see a bunch of teenagers out there talking about something really interesting, like the new Alanis Morissette CD. Rules? Okay. So, and it reminds you of one of your amusing stories. Don't launch right into the 2-hour version. See if you can get their attention with something like,
one time I had to change a tire in the rain on the way to a wedding.
If you're met with cold stares, don't tell the story. Move on, pitch out another idea.
Did I tell you kids about the time I stepped in a birthday cake?
Now, if they're interested, and I mean only if they're interested, go on with a little bit longer version. But, as far as the 2-hour version's concerned, trust me, we're willing to wait for the video. Remember, you're on your own. Don't push it.
Well, 2 hours ago, Buster's house was a smoldering ruin. Now his new place is up and ready to move in. I'll tell you, when the lodge members come together, there is nothing we can't do.
Big whoop. Oh, yeah, putting up the house. It was a prefab home and arrived in a truck and taken off by a crane. All these guys did was sit around in lawn chairs and heckle the poor crane operator. The guy got so nervous he didn't even put it on Buster's property.
Harold, when somebody says, shut up to you, it's not a piece of advice that you can take or leave. You're supposed to do it.
I give you advice all the time, and you don't take it.
Well, we're not equals, Harold.
I know, but I don't hold that over you.
Buster's house is exactly where it should be, Harold, and it's thanks to us. We all chipped in, paid for it, and Buster got a great deal.
A home, huh? It's a houseboat.
Hey, come on. Buster's kids got a roof over their head, they got a back porch big enough to take an outboard motor, and they got a basement that'll never flood.
It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, show a little respect here. That's Buster's house you're talking about.
It's more like Buster's Ark.
Well, if it is, Harold, you're not going to be able to get on it, because we'll never find 2 like you.
Hi, my name's Buzz. I'm a man.
Hey, Buzz.
I acted like a guy yesterday. But I really couldn't help myself, right? I mean, she's got this food processor, okay? And it broke. It was stuck on mints. And she said, well, I'll have to take that into the repair shop. I said, whoa, let me fix it. She said, no, thank you. Remember what you did to my TV? Remember what you did to my blow dryer? Remember what you did to my typewriter and my yogurt maker? I said, what's the point? She said, so. I said, okay, I won't touch it. So she left it there in the counter, a broken food processor. How can women do that? It's broken, man. You gotta take it apart and see what's wrong. You gotta. I didn't touch it. All week I walked by the food processor. It's taunting me. It's talking to me and saying, I'm a broken food processor. You can't touch me. You can't fix me. I wanted to take... I didn't. One night I snapped. She went out to bingo and I got my tools out. I took that food processor right there in the counter and I ripped her wide open. I couldn't fix it. But I put it back together again and it looked almost exactly the same as it used to. She came home. She took one look at me. She looked at the blender. She said, you tried to fix it, didn't you?
Oh, what gave you away?
The duct tape.
A poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson Green. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward. All in the valley of death rode the 600. Theirs not to make reply,
Theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. Into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell rode the 600. Boy, that was the best ever pay-per-view WrestleMania.
Well, time for Adventures with Bill, and we're gonna do the high wire thing. And remember earlier we freed up the flagpole for him so he can actually use that. That's the way he uses flagpoles. That's the trouble with Bill. Anyway, he's gonna use that to kind of let you know they have the little balance bar that they use there. Well, that's the way. Oh my God. Yeah, Bill's a dangerous man. I can't wait to get him up on the high wire. So I'm gonna take one end of the rope and I'm gonna hook that onto one of our bigger trees up here at the lodge. And Bill's got the concrete block. Now I'm gonna whip that around there and tie that on there, and I think a reef hitch, double clove, and then what Bill's gonna do is just kind of wedge that block into the tree, and then we'll tighten the rope up between the wedged block, and then there he, now look at that, huh? There he is. He's like a Wallenda. You ever heard about Wallendas? We're a very famous circus family, and if there ever was a circus family, it's gotta be Bill's, I'm figuring, you know. But look at that. And of course with Bill, you know, as soon as he gets anywhere close to doing something right, he feels like he's on top of it. He's cocky. You know, he gets cocky. There you go. Oh, you don't need that, do you? You know what, with the Wallendas though, wait a minute now, weren't they called the Flying Wallendas? Why were they called the Flying Wallendas? Oh, I see. All right, so what we did now was we added more weight. We had something else in mind. I had to add more blocks to that, so there was more weight on the thing, and we had a ladder there, and what we did was we took a little kid's bike, took the tires off. And now with the tires off, the rims are gonna sit right there on the rope. And like I say with Bill, you know, once he gets close to something, he tries to make it so hard that he can't do it. Kind of like the Peter principle of adventures. I guess this could be Peter Adventures. Adventures with Peter. Peter. No, I won't. All right, so he gets on the bike and get on the bike, Bill. Get on there. Where you go? On you get. Where you go? On you get. Wait, we go. On. There. And by golly, you know, I think it's the flagpole is the secret again. And just, you know, a word of safety, don't stand close to Bill. Look at him go, though. Could be crossing Niagara Falls right now, couldn't he? Huh? On his little bike there and everything. And then, you know what happens again? He gets kind of he thinks, wouldn't it be fun to bounce? You know, which he often says at parties, and he gets going a little too much, and then, of course, there goes the pole, and then the blocks fall down, and he fires up there just like a slingshot. There you go, Bill. By golly, now, that has got to hurt, you know? That's why at the circus, you pay up front. All right there, Bill. Well, he'll be on his bike for a while, I'd say. Here's the Possum Lodge oath, all done in needlepoint, sent to us by a viewer.
I told you, Uncle Red. I said that wasn't Buster's property. I said you're building the house on the wrong piece of land. I said Buster's house ends right at the rail fence. I told you.
Well, why didn't you tell me sooner, Harold, when the truck and the crane were still here and we could do something about moving the house?
I did tell you earlier. I told you the minute you picked the spot. I said Buster's property ends right at the fence. That's why there is a fence.
So why didn't you say it louder?
I did say it louder. I said it really loud, and I said it several times, and you told me to shut up.
Well, why didn't you persist, Harold? No, you can't stop doing something just because somebody tells you to shut up. You'll never get anywhere.
If I persist, then I'll...
Oh, shut up, Harold. Well, anyway, you know, we got Buster's house now, 50 feet off of his property, and we wanted to pick a good site there, you know, where he had a nice view and was a ways up from the smoking ruin of his old place there. And now we got to move his house, you know, do the old change of address thing.
You're going to drag that houseboat over 50 feet of rocky, well-treed land?
Well, we're not stupid, Harold. Junior Singleton says if we grease the hill, we can just slide her down. I want to tell you, teenagers out there, you're not fooling anybody. Your parents know what you're doing. You think they don't know where you're going or what you're up to? The kind of people you're hanging out with? They know. Because not that long ago, they were doing the same things themselves. They just don't want you to know, otherwise you'd think less of them. But believe me, they know. Are you with a parent right now? Huh? You see that grin? Now, they may say they don't know, but they know. And now you know that they know. But if they won't admit that you know that they know that they know that you know, ask your grandparents, because they really know. And if they say they don't remember, that just means your parents have bought them off somehow, or maybe there's a court order, no one's allowed to talk about it. You know what that means? That means your parents were big-time problem teenagers. That's going to increase the slack on your leash by about 100 miles. Believe me, I know.
It's mail call! Okay. Our first letter is from Mr. Pete Ches in Atlanta.
Who?
Mr. Pete Ches in Atlanta. And it goes as follows.
Peaches? Is that the name, Peaches?
Pete Ches. Okay. Dear Red, my brother Matt Ches and I are big fans of your show.
Matches? Her brother's name is Matches?
Who?
Peaches.
Peaches is a he.
A boy named Peaches? What kind of parents name their boys Peaches and Matches?
Well, let's see. Their parents' name are Rhett Ches and Bell Ches.
Wretches and Belches? Where do these names come from, Harold?
Well, down south, I guess they're southern people. They've included a family photo. It's the whole Ches family. There's Rhett and Bell, Pete, and Matt.
Peaches, Matches, Wretches, and Belches. Sounds like a law firm, doesn't it?
Sure makes you want to settle out of court.
Well, good news. We solved the problem of Buster's new house being built on somebody else's property. With a little ingenuity, we managed to get his house on the right side of the boundary line.
You moved that houseboat over 50 feet?
No, we moved the fence over 50 feet.
No, Uncle Red, you can't do that. That's someone else's property. No.
I know that, Harold. It's Flinty McClintock's property. He didn't mind. He just moved his far fence over 45 feet onto Moose Thomas. Then Moose moved his far fence over 40 feet, and Bob Stuyvesant's 35, and so on. See, all the way down the line. Everybody gave up 5 feet of their property, got their fence repaired in the meanwhile. Eh? That's what neighbors are for.
Wow, that's neat, Uncle Red. That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's a real pioneer spirit.
Yeah.
I am very impressed.
Well, you may not be, Harold, because the last 5 feet was onto your parents' property there, and it was right, your bedroom was right on the line, so, you know, your bedroom is now on someone else's land, and in fact, you are Old Man Sedgwick's son.
Meeting time.
Yeah.
Are you still my uncle?
You go on down and say hello to Dad. If my wife is watching, you know I've had quite a day. I put out a burning house, buried a budgie, replaced a house with a houseboat, and redrew the boundary lines across the whole community. You know what? I think I deserve a reward. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching on behalf of myself and Harold Sedgwick and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge. You keep your stick out of here. What do you got in your mind, Harold?
Well, I got some excellent news. You know that commercial that says like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend sugarless gum? Well, that 5th dentist is moving up here, so you guys can eat whatever you want.